What's up guys, Max here for Rev3 Games, and this is my review of Quantum Conundrum, which is of course the latest physics-bending mind puzzle game to come out. And a lot of people might think that it looks like a ripoff of Portal, and if you think that, it's probably because it is the brain baby of Kim Swift, who is one of the creators of Valve's classic puzzle platformer. How's the game? Well, let's take a look. In Quantum Conundrum, you play as the nephew of mad scientist Professor Fitzquadrangle, and you've been dumped in his mansion/laboratory for a visit, only to find that your eccentric uncle has trapped himself in a pocket dimension, and everything is on lockdown because science. So in order to find him, you've got to put on an interdimensional shift device, or IDS glove. This device allows you to traverse dimensions at will, changing the very properties of the world around you in order to solve physics puzzles, impeding your way to save Professor Quadrangle. Like Portal, it's a fairly simple set of core mechanics that make for some interesting gameplay, but also like Portal, what makes it truly engrossing is the amount of style and personality it has on top of that. Visually, Quantum Conundrum is just fine. I didn't fall in love with the art direction exactly, but at no point did I find myself sick of it. It's colorful and cartoony, and the overall aesthetic is sort of like if 1960s Looney Tunes had more of a sci-fi spin and then got run through Unreal Engine 3, which this is running on. If Portal is WALL-E, then Quantum Conundrum is like Despicable Me meets Monsters, Inc. I couldn't help but think of how much this game is going to click with the Reddit community's particular brand of nerdy humor. There are cats in top hats, there are monocles, framed pictures of mustaches, bacon, bad puns, and more science jokes than I could count. Throughout the game, Professor Quadrangle's disembodied voice offers commentary on your performance and clues for how to progress through the game. He's played by John Delancey, who Star Trek fans might recognize from his role as Q. His commentary is occasionally condescending, though never truly mean-spirited, and he periodically shares quirky anecdotes about his scientific misadventures.
Nice job. No, not really.
As far as any other characters go, it's really just Ike, which is short for Interdimensional Kinetic Entity, who is Professor Quadrangle's mischievous pet, and he shows up periodically throughout the game for adorable comic relief and occasionally to give you batteries for your IDS glove. Now, the purpose of the IDS glove is to let you shift between 4 different dimensions. You've got no time or usage limitations on each dimension, and the batteries to the glove really just are used to unlock the different dimensions in each level. 2 of the 4 dimensions affect matter itself. There's fluffy space, which makes everything take on the properties of fluffy white pillows, allowing you to lift even the heaviest objects. And then of course there's heavy space, which makes everything extra dense. A normally flammable couch is now able to block a laser beam, and a small cardboard box now becomes heavy enough to shatter a window. The other half of the dimensions you'll access affect the behavior of objects more than the objects themselves. There's slow time, which makes everything around you move super slow, and there's reverse gravity, which causes everything that's not bolted down to suddenly fall onto the ceiling. Of course, since you're wearing the IDS glove, none of these dimensional shifts actually affect you. You move at normal speed in slow time, and at no point do you turn into a pillow, etc. Each one of these dimensional shifts by itself is novel enough to allow for some interesting physics puzzles. However, by the end of Quantum Conundrum, you will be using them all in conjunction with each other. Anyone who complained about the Portal games being too easy is bound to eat this game up. However, if you're looking for a low-key romp that won't stress you out, you might be taken by surprise. Quantum Conundrum puts a lot of emphasis on well-timed platforming in addition to puzzling. Of course, the age-old problem with platforming in first person is the inability to see one's feet, which can be mildly annoying when it causes you to fail at jumping from platform to platform, but it's downright infuriating when you're attempting to jump from a flying metal couch as it passes through lasers while you shift into slow motion to land on a nearby airborne coffee table. Though Quantum Conundrum is showing PC gamers some love by hitting Steam first, its control setup is much better suited for a gamepad than keyboard. I'm usually more comfortable playing first-person games with a mouse and keyboard, but the dimensional shifting controls are just much more difficult to master that way. With a game like Quantum Conundrum, how much you enjoy it depends on how your brain works. There were some reviewers I talked to who were stumped at parts of the game I figured out without any trouble. You guys remember that graffiti on the walls and the test chambers in Portal 2 that just said too many variables? Well, that's what I felt like here. I'm sure the big question for a lot of people will be, is it better than Portal? To which I would say no, but which is open to discussion. Portal took an extremely simple mechanic and did as much with it as it could, and it did it really well. Quantum Conundrum takes 4 mechanics and has you mixing and matching them with varying degrees of success. At times, it does it absolutely brilliantly, and at other times, it just feels like trial and error. More convolution than Conundrum. Personally, I love the feeling when I solve a puzzle and suddenly feel like the smartest man alive. What I don't love is when I solve a puzzle cognitively, but then I'm not able to complete it because I suck at jumping at the right time. Again, that's my problem, but it's a problem I didn't expect to have going into a Portal-esque puzzle game. So anyone who's looking for a solid challenge to sink their teeth into should sit up straight and pay attention, because Quantum Conundrum definitely offers a worthwhile one, while anyone dismissing the game for its cute and cuddly aesthetic should reconsider. So basically, Quantum Conundrum offers the level of quality and amount of content we expect from retail games, except at a quarter of the price. So even if you're not smart enough to beat it, you'd be stupid not to go pick it up. That hits PC this week. That's already out on Steam, and it'll be coming to PSN on July 10th and XBLA on July 11th. You guys should subscribe to our channel for more video game stuff. I am Max Scoville. I will see you guys around.